What's up, friends, family, frenemies? It's your girl, Dr. Shonna, and I am live on my birthday. I didn't want to take all day to come live on my birthday to say thank you to everybody who's been showing me some birthday love. I really do appreciate that. So I wanted to take this opportunity to come on and just talk to you guys, just chop it up just for a little bit. So I'm going to give you some time to come through. We're live on both Facebook and we're live on YouTube. So I can say thank you to everybody for all the birthday love. I literally just got finished returning text messages and phone calls. So I'm on to the social media thing now to be able to say hello to everyone. Y'all see my flowers in the background? I know some of you guys think Abu gave that to me, but no, Abu did not give that to me. That's for my daughter. My daughter brought me roses. So beautiful. And my little 7-year old, this is his gift to me. He gave me $20 and he writes, you see that? Your gift. He taped with a whole bunch of my special tape. He taped down a $20 bill for me, and he's 7 years old. And this is what we do. We teach kids how to have money in this family. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. My 16-year-old brought me my favorite ice cream, which you know I should not be eating that ice cream. But to make him happy, I did have some of my butter pecan by Haagen-Dazs because that is my favorite ice cream. Although I have not eaten ice cream in years, I ate some ice cream. Thank you so much for everyone that's coming through. Show me some birthday love. I really do appreciate that. You guys are super awesome. So I see you guys are all coming through. I'm not going to keep you guys long whatsoever. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to, be the Debbie Downer. So I want to really just try to keep things upbeat, but y'all know me. I can't stop addressing things in the community that needs to be addressed. So even though it's my birthday, I might have to be the Debbie Downer. I might have to give you guys some bad news. Somebody said, Dr. Shonna cough, elbow, wash hands, wash hands. Yes, wash hands, baby, wash hands, because I'm getting over COVID. I beat COVID's ass. Yes, I did. Okay, so family. Somebody said get non-dairy ice cream. I love non-dairy ice cream, but whatever the boy gets me for my birthday, I'm going to be able to eat a little bit of something, something. So listen, I'm not going to tell my son, well, you should have got me some non-dairy ice cream. You know I don't eat milk, right? I'm not going to say that. It's the thought that counts. I took him for his birthday love. And, I'm happy. I'm happy my children thought about me. I'm happy my daughter got me these flowers. Even I'm walking through my house with mask on. I'm happy. I'm happy. So listen, family, let's talk about COVID for a minute. Let's talk about COVID because I know I'm on here and I'm so super excited about me beating COVID. And I thought the asthma was going to take my ass out. My daughter was in tears. She was crying. But I stayed hopeful and focused. And so I got all these phone calls and everyone was saying to me, oh my God, you had COVID? Dr. Shonna, are you going to get the vaccine? So I want to be able to answer that question because I see a lot of you guys want to ask me about the vaccine and if I'm going to get a vaccine. A lot of my colleagues who are in the medical world, like I'm in the medical world, they have called me, they have texted me, Doc, you do know we in line for the vaccine. You know we can walk in and get the vaccine because of what we do. You know that you qualify for that. And everyone's trying to convince me to go ahead and get this vaccine. Now, I'm not telling you guys, I want to make this very clear before I go into my opinion and my thoughts. I want to make this very clear, so don't get in your feelings. Let me say this, and I'm going to say this clearly. You need to write it down so you can say that I said it. Write it down so you can say that I said it. But I want to be able to say this to you all. I understand that people are afraid and people are looking. Look at Cherie. Look at Cherie. I know your birthday's February 9th, Cherie. Aquarius come through in the house. You know how we do Aquarius come through in the house. But listen, I know some of you guys who have had family members or friends who have had COVID, they did not make it. And I do not ever want to not acknowledge the lives that we have lost through in this pandemic. So I'm not going to be so damn foolish not to acknowledge that. I want to say that all the lives that we have lost, I think that it was senseless. I don't think that we should have been able to lose those lives. I think if we would have done a little bit better in this country, lives would have been would have been saved. I am going to say this about a lot of people in our community. I'm not saying everybody's like this, but I'm going to say this for a lot of people in our community. We don't believe nothing, right? You can be dead and dying from COVID, and some of us are some disrespectful mother freakers in our community. You know, it's my birthday, right? So if I curse today, I'm trying to be good, but if I curse today, blame it on another part of me because today's my birthday. So today I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And that might mean cussing a little bit. So I hope that doesn't offend y'all too much, right? I hope it doesn't offend you guys too much if I cuss a little. I'm going to try to control it, but she might slip out and she might cuss some of your asses out tonight. And I hope that is okay. But I want to be able to say this. Some of our asses, oh, look at the cursing already started. Oh, well, some of our asses are so freaking ridiculous, right? You can have a family member drop dead from COVID complications. And some of y'all retarded asses, I'm just saying, some of y'all retarded asses will turn around and say COVID is not real. You know, this is all fake. They ain't die for no COVID. Y'all will make up so much shit because, you know, especially in our community, we don't believe in science. We don't believe in none of that shit. We just go on and we just say a lot of disrespectful stuff, despite the fact that people have lost their lives. And we'll turn around and say some disrespectful stuff, and we don't even realize that our asses are being disrespectful, right? We don't even realize that we're being disrespectful to people who have lost their lives. So what I'm going to say, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody who have lost their life about, you know, COVID, and anyone who is considering taking the vaccine. I don't want to discourage you guys from doing anything. So the opinions that I'm going to share, they are my own opinions. Okay. Thank you so much for that donation and the birthday love. Shout out to the birthday girl. Shout out to the birthday girl. If it was not COVID, you know, I'll be acting ridiculous in somebody's lounge. Okay, that's a lie. But nonetheless, I don't want you guys to think that my opinion when it comes to the vaccine is trying to discourage other people from taking it. Take the vaccine, do what you want to do. These are my opinions, and I am not taking away from anybody else who has lost their life from COVID. I do recognize that people have lost their life from COVID, and I would never want to wish COVID on anybody, especially after my experience. I would not want to wish it on anybody. Now, my experience is not as bad as other people. So clearly, as you can see, I beat COVID's ass, right? I ain't got no taste. And I still can't smell nothing, but I beat COVID's ass, right? I sure enough did do that. But I will tell you this one. I ain't taking the vaccine. I'm not taking the vaccine. So I know all of my sisters and brothers, you guys are reaching out to me to make sure I'm well. And I know you guys mean well, trying to encourage me to take the vaccine, but I'm not going to do it. Let me tell you why I'm not taking the vaccine. I want y'all to listen to me clearly. I'm not telling y'all what to do. In fact, all of you motherfuckers can take the vaccine. Take the vaccine because y'all can keep me safe, right? I am not a vaccinated person, right? So I am somebody who went way under the radar when it comes to vaccines. I don't know what my mother conjured up when I was a kid, but I went way under the radar when it comes to vaccines. I remember when I was pregnant with my second child, the doctor did not believe me when I told the doctor I was not a vaccinated person. Do you know this mofo? This mofo went out and ordered an immunity test to make sure that I was telling the truth. And when he realized that I was not a vaccinated person, all the things that he tested me for, I did not show any immunity to. He had a heart attack because I was pregnant. He was like, do you know what this means? Do you know what can happen to you? I said, tell me what can happen to me. because the things that I never had, like chicken pox. I never had the chicken pox. My mother never had chicken pox either. Up until the day she died, my mother never had chicken pox. So I'm not a vaccinated person. So like really, honestly and truly, a lot of people don't scare me with the vaccination shit, right? Because I'm not a vaccinated person, and I'm not telling you guys not to be vaccinated. I'm not telling you guys not to vaccinate your children. You do what you want to do. I'm just saying, for me, thank you for that donation, sister. Thank you so much, Mary. I'm just saying that I am not a vaccinated person. So I've never been somebody to jump quickly for vaccinations. I've never been somebody to say, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go out and get vaccinated. But I do recognize that there's some people who want to take the vaccination. So I want you to say this. Be smart about everything that you do. I'm not at liberty of telling you guys certain things, but I am going to tell you this. If you are going to take the vaccine, don't take Pfizer. Pfizer going to order a hit on my head now. Don't take Pfizer. In fact, you can go ahead and look up the clinical trials, and you can go ahead and find out the information on the clinical trials. I always tell our community to read. Do your research and read. The clinical trials are available. Go ahead to the medical journals. Find out on the clinical trial. Understand what an mRNA is. Understand why they came up with the mRNA. This is not new. They're making it seem like the mRNA is something new. This is not new. It's been around since the 90s, number one, right? Some of their tests didn't go how they wanted the test to go. But if you're going to take the vaccination, if you're going to do whatever the hell you want to do with your body. I'm not a vaccinated person, so I will not be taking the vaccine. But do whatever the hell you want to do with your body. If you're going to take the vaccine, I implore you to do your research. It will behoove you to do your research. And it also, I wanted to tell you to really challenge yourself to dig deep on the vaccinations before you do it. Forget about all the conspiracy theories, right? You know, I do like conspiracy theories. I love that stuff, right? Forget about all of that. I want you to be educated and I want you to be informed. I want you to ask yourself questions like, why didn't Dr. Fauci take Pfizer? Ask yourself questions like that. Ask yourself questions like, why are no one talking about all the deaths that have occurred under the Pfizer vaccine? You might want to ask yourself questions like that, right? So also ask yourself questions like, well, why do I still have to wear a mask? And why can I still get, the virus? Ask yourself questions like that. I'll tell you what COVID has done for me with me getting COVID. I'll tell you what COVID has done for me. What COVID has done for me is to put things into perspective. How many of us, right? I know some of us already have compromised systems. I have a compromised system. I don't know if I ever shared, and I have shared it with you guys. I've told you guys before that I have been asthmatic all my life. When I'm on my herbal root tea, when I'm on my regimen, and I take my root teas like my oregano, my rosemary at the time my asthma acts up. When I take that stuff consistently and I don't miss a beat, typically speaking, I do not have an asthma attack. It's when I fall off with my herbal remedies. When I fall off, thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that, beautiful. When I fall off on my remedies, I have an asthma attack. So typically speaking, I experience asthma once a year, a full-blown attack when I'm in an emergency room. I'm getting treatments, I'm getting shots, I'm being monitored. Like my oxygen levels are low. They're always yelling at me and screaming at me because I wait too long to come into the emergency room. And I thought that's what was happening this time with COVID. So I was on my A game. So I was fortunate enough that even though I am compromised, everyone told you at the very beginning, oh, if you have these type of things, and asthma was one of those things, you are considered to have a compromise. You're one of those people that's going to be compromised. COVID can be deadly for you. And I'm not saying that these things aren't true. I'm not saying that. They are true, right? But for me, it's a testament for me with how I maintain my health. And I'm not saying that this will not happen for everybody. Immunity is not the only thing. So I don't want to sit up here and give you guys misinformed information. And some of y'all be like, wait on it, especially the Shea Butter crew. I'm not trying to be funny, but y'all know the Shea Butter crew in our community is always peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love and Shea Butter. I'm a vegan, peace and love. I got the best immune system on earth, peace and love, and shea butter. We already know the people like that in our community. No shade to none of y'all. You just laugh about it. Today's my birthday. I'm being hilarious. But I'm telling y'all, some of the people in our community, we all know how they are. I don't want to give you guys misinformed information that will have you believing that you just have to be peace and love and shea butter and you're gonna beat COVID. I don't want you to believe that stuff because I know some people who are peace and love shea butter and their health is on point. They don't eat nothing. They don't eat nothing. They don't eat nuts, right? Nuts, berries, and vegetables. That's all they eat. And I know people that have lost their lives. Why? Because they had underlying medical conditions that they did not even know existed. So I would like to think that on top of immunity is also genetics, right? So what are some of the things that might predispose us to losing our lives if we come down with COVID? COVID is a beast. It's a beast. I thought somebody was ripping my brain out of my goddamn head. I thought somebody was punching me in my throat every goddamn day. Now I don't got no taste. I don't have any smell. My asthma, I felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. COVID was a beast. It was a beast. And I came through it. And I would like to say, oh, it's because my immune system's so good. And I would like to say, oh, because I'm on my vitamin A game. And I would like to say, oh, because, I have my herbal remedies that I take all the time and I exercise every day. And this is why I survived it. I would like to say that. But I do know some people who are in tip-top shape. Their diets are way better than mine. They put my diet to shame and they lost their lives. So I don't want to act like these things are not real. But I am going to say this. Somebody said not the shea butter. You already know. Y'all know the shea butter people. The shea butter people, I'll be like, come on, y'all need to sit your asses down. Come get out my feet with all that shit. That's how I feel sometimes about the shea butter people. And I don't mean no disrespect, but sometimes y'all be overdoing it. Today, y'all be peace and love in public and be little devils in your house. I mean, the shea butter people be out of control. But y'all know what I mean. If you're gonna take the vaccination, just do your research. I would not touch Pfizer with a 10-foot pole. And I'm not telling you any information that cannot be looked up. Like, for one, here's one thing I would tell you. Pfizer has a very strict standard of how you must store these vaccinations in the time frame in which you must use the vaccination. Now, some of these doctors, we already know how some of these doctors are. Our asses be sitting in the waiting room for 2 hours seeing some of these doctors because they're disorganized. They're hot messes, right? So if you already know that your doctor is a hot mess and your doctor's disorganized and they be botching up your name, ain't got shit right in your file. It takes 45 years for them to give you a return to work note. You already know if you have a doctor that's a piece of crap. I'm just being honest. Let's just be honest for a second. You already know. You already know. But if you have doctors like that in your life, they're not following the standard that they have to follow in order for their vaccinations to stay up to par. And no one's really talking about this. No one's really talking about the refrigeration that the Pfizer vaccine has to be kept at in comparison to the other vaccine. No one's really talking about that. So I think that you guys have to really do your research and understand that. If you go into a bootleg doctor, their asses are not storing that vaccine at the temperature that it's supposed to be stored at in order for it to be good. That's not happening. You already know that they leaving shit on the shelf that should not be in the shelf and it should really be in the refrigerator. You already know about that. You already know, if I'm not mistaken, I wish I had my phone on me to give you guys the information, but y'all can go ahead and look it up because I know y'all some fact checking queens and kings, and I love that about y'all, right? I want you guys to don't worry about it, Tawana. Just stay with me long enough. You on Facebook. That's one of my Facebook sisters. Stay on me long enough. You'll learn the new language. But I want you to know, if I'm not mistaken, Pfizer's vaccinations have to be stored. If I'm not mistaken, I want y'all to fact check me. It has to be stored at a negative 94 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Whereas Moderna has to be stored at a -4. You see the big difference? One is very fucking cold, right? And the other one is cold. You see the difference? So y'all already know, if y'all going to bootleg doctors, and they're not storing that Pfizer vaccine at the appropriate temperature, you already know that that shit is no longer good, right? So you already know that stuff within that vial, is being broken down and is being transformed to shit you can't even identify. See, Pfizer's not going to tell you that. Pfizer's not going to tell the public that. But I want somebody to show me that I'm wrong. I want somebody to come back and show me that I'm wrong. See, I do my research, baby, and I got people connected in all types of places, right? And so some of the complaints that are coming back on a Pfizer's vaccine is that whatever is happening to what's inside of it is being broken down to unknown substances. They're not sure what is being morphed into. There's strict protocol that has to be followed, and it is not being followed with Pfizer. So I know some of y'all, I know some of y'all want to go ahead and get the vaccine, and that's cool. That's cool. So somebody said CDC, before mixing, the vaccine may be stored in a refrigerator between 2 degrees and 8 degrees, 36 Fahrenheit, 46, for up to 120 hours for 5 days. That's not for all vaccines. You have to look at the different companies. So I appreciate that, Empress Netta. I want you now to go back and look at what Pfizer's storage is. So that's great that you're saying that, but go back and look at what Pfizer is in comparison to Moderna, and then let me know. Because I'm glad that you guys are doing your research. Go back and see the difference. Go back and see the difference. And look up those different vaccinations. If I had, my phone is right here. I got the information on my phone. Give me a second. Let me get closer. Because y'all know I got more than one phone, right? Y'all know I got my trap phone, baby. Got my trap phone. Let me go back into that because I want y'all to know. Yep. So yes. So Empress Netta, thank you for that, beloved. Go back and look at it because I'm going to bring it up for you guys. Okay. So let me see. Where did my daughter send me that information? She could have sent it on my regular phone. Somebody said Pfizer's going to send it to the poor neighborhoods. Good Lord. I don't know. I hope not. But let me see. I'm going to bring it up for you guys. Let me just find that text message that I received. Because y'all know my daughter's in the medical field. And we watch for every goddamn thing. I be telling her, and she be doing her research, come back with her mouth open. Yeah, go back and get your mouth open, baby. Oh, what phone did she send it to? But I want you to go ahead and look. Somebody said, did you hear about that pharmacist that left the vaccine out for 1 week? Long story short, he was arrested. As Dr. Shonna said, we have to be careful. You better be careful. Shit, y'all go ahead and do some crazy things if you want to. I ain't messing with this vaccination. So that's for me. I want you guys to do the best that you can. And if it means for you guys getting vaccinated, I want y'all to get vaccinated. Do what you want to do. I'm not getting vaccinated. But I'm not telling you guys not to get vaccinated. I think that I want to see more people. Here goes. What's it saying? Pfizer is minus 70 degrees. Okay, so I was a little wrong. I said 84. Minus 70 degrees, right? And look at this. Empress is saying what? Moderna is negative 25 to 15. You see the big difference? Somebody said that pharmacist was arrested. You see the difference? You see the difference? Right? Y'all see this? I'm trying to tell you, I'm not making this stuff up. But how many of y'all went and did that research before you even knew it? How many of you guys understand what that means? How many of you guys understand if Pfizer is, I thought it was negative 84, but she's telling me it's 70. All right, because I'm not on here right now. I was looking for the information I had my daughter send me. I was looking for it. She did send it to me somewhere, but I can't find out where she sent it to me at. But nonetheless, it was straight from the CDC. If it was CDC or Pfizer, somebody's site, I can't remember whose site it was, but it was straight from there. It was very specific too, very strict guidelines. And I said to myself, well, how many doctors are actually following this guideline? Right? How many doctors are following this guide? I'll pass. Right? I'll pass. Somebody said my mom got the Moderna. So I know that there are real people out there who are afraid, and go ahead, do what you got to do. So just for all the people all the people was asking me if I'm going to take the vaccination. My answer to you is no. I'm not going to take it. Not Pfizer, not Moderna, not nothing, right? I'm not going to take it. Everyone's asking me, how am I? I'm doing much better, family. So thank you so much. So that's the first thing I want to talk about today is that COVID. The other thing I wanted to talk about is people are asking me, how did I get COVID? How did I get COVID? So I got COVID from somebody that I know who did not know that they had COVID. And we all got tested. We all were negative. And this is something that I want you guys to think about. This is why I'm sharing this with you. We all got tested. We all were negative, right? But you could be negative today and tonight get COVID and don't even know it. You understand what I'm trying to say? So y'all got to stop walking around with this false belief that it's not going to happen to you. I've been in my house the whole entire time. I don't go anywhere. I have even protected myself in my house when my daughter came out positive, right? My children and I did not get it from my daughter in the house. But, you know, I stepped out with the risk, you know, because I can't stay locked up in my house forever. So I went out to enjoy myself 101 at a lunch meeting. And the person did not know that they had COVID, even though that person just got tested. So this person calls me the next day and said, I just got a phone call from my supervisor that told me that somebody who I was on an assignment with tested positive for COVID and I have to go get tested. So I'm just letting you know. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? I said, but I'm not going to be worried about it. If I got COVID, I got COVID. And what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it if I got COVID? Right? So I turned around and I didn't worry about it. I saw this person on a Tuesday. On Friday, that person got tested, went to go get tested on Thursday. On Friday, I woke up and something in my spirit said, girl, you are positive. You are positive. You got COVID. And I could not breathe on Friday, but I thought it was my asthma. Because if anybody out here is asthmatic, you guys know when the weather changes, it can trigger our asthma. Because I don't know if many of you guys know this, but asthma is an allergy, right? It's an allergy. So I thought my asthma was being irritated. I didn't even think about it. I said, I got to go to my doctor and I'm going to have to get a shot if my breathing doesn't get out of control, because I was able to tell that I couldn't grasp my breathing. I was wheezing. I was coughing. I couldn't even sleep throughout an entire night because I was without air. Saturday, I woke up. I called my friend and I said, so what happened? What did the doctor say? Came back, person had COVID. It's like, I'm COVID positive. I said, oh shit, let me go get tested. I said, because I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And this could be my asthma, but if it's my asthma, I'm gonna have to go to my doctor ASAP. I'm gonna be in an emergency room because I can't breathe. So I went to go get tested. I did 2 tests. I did the rapid test and the PCR. So y'all know about the PCR. That's the test where you actually send it to the lab. And the rapid test, they get the results in the office. So they did the rapid test in the office. The rapid test came back negative. Sent the PCR out for the lab. The next day I woke up, I was like, well, goddamn, I got to call the doctor. I cannot breathe to save my life. I'm taking my pump. I'm making my root teas even stronger. And I'm just lying in the bed. I'm trying to get as much rest as possible. I'm working. I'm getting up and I'm working, but I'm going back into the bed, lying down, trying to get my breathing under control and just doing all the things that I know to do, including I started to make really strong oregano and rosemary tea so that I can break up my lungs in order for me to breathe. I'm doing all of this stuff. I'm taking antihistamine. I'm doing all this stuff because I'm thinking it's my asthma. Taking my pump, everything. I'm thinking it's my asthma. Monday, I wake up. My breathing's under control. No, Sunday, I get a call from the lab and my PCR tested negative. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys to be very careful. My PCR tested negative. And so now I'm under the assumption that I don't have COVID. It's just my asthma, right? So I'm doing all that I'm supposed to do. Monday, I wake up, I can breathe. I'm no longer wheezing. I'm no longer gasping for air. I have a cough, but I'm breathing. So I was like, okay, it was my asthma and I beat it. Here I am thinking, the witch doctor's here. I'm doing all my root stuff. I'm surviving it. I'm doing my goddamn thing. Go ahead, heifer. Go ahead, Heifer. You got your asthma under control. Udabomb.com. Monday, I'm in the clear. Tuesday, I'm in the clear. Wednesday, I'm in the clear. Thursday, I wake up, I ain't got no voice. And my head feels like somebody got my brain in between a hand and they just squishing it. And I'm like, well, shit. Thursday, headache, sore throat. Friday, as you guys know, I did a live on Friday. But by Friday, my daughter got too nervous about how I was showing up. And she kept saying to herself, my mom has COVID. She told me later that as she left and she went to her office, she drove to her office to get a rapid test. She was saying that she started to cry because she seen my condition. I'm in the dark. The covers are over my head. My throat is sore. I gargled with pink Himalayan sea salt. I gargled with warm water. I added tea tree oil. I'm trying to kill whatever's in my throat. I'm like, what is going on? My head is hurting. And I'm not somebody who take medication, right? So I don't deal with medication. I'm somebody who sleeps off my pain. So I'm in the bed, cover over my head. My daughter comes back and she's like, Mom, sit up. I'm going to test you. I don't know what this is, but I just want to make sure. And she puts the rapid up my nose. By the time she got to the bathroom and tested it, immediately it came back and it was positive. She was like, Mom, you have COVID. And that's when I came on live and I told you guys. By that time, you heard my voice. So Thursday and Friday, I had no voice. Saturday, my voice was back, but I had a headache. Sunday, my headache was subsiding. It was still there, but I was able to move around. I was able to eat. I was able to talk. That wasn't really bothering me. Sunday, I made it through with a slight headache. Monday, no headache, no sore throat. Tuesday, I lose my smell. Tuesday night, my taste is gone. So now I'm without smell. I'm without taste. Go figure, but I feel good. So I say all of that to say, you could be with somebody today and y'all can be negative today. Y'all can both go get tested and then be negative today. And that person could have been exposed to COVID and you close to this person, no face condom on. See, that was my mistake. I took off my face condom because I trusted the person was negative. See, I should not have trusted. I should have been treating that person like I treat everybody else. And I took off my face condom. You see, condoms save lives. Face condoms save lives. I took off that face condom and I got infected. So, yeah, somebody said God is good all the time. So I want you guys to really just think about what I'm saying. I think that a lot of us, we have our guard down and we just automatically assume that it ain't that serious. That's what a lot of us think. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. And that's unfortunate that many of us have that mindset because we're so consumed with conspiracy theorists, right? We're so consumed with all this information coming out. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's a COVID expert. Ain't nobody never worked with a virus a day in their life. And nobody has ever been in a lab. Everybody is a goddamn expert, right? And even if COVID was created in the lab, even if it was created in the lab, I don't put nothing past these motherfuckers. Y'all know how I am. But even though we believe this, we still are unprotected. See, if it was created in the lab, you should be even more afraid, right? You should be even more afraid. So you should know that your ass is the experiment. But we even take that lightly, right? So Def Rocker, you must be late. I already answered that question. I was telling people I don't want you guys to do what I'm doing. I know some of you guys are dependent on me to tell you what I'm doing. I'm not taking the vaccine, but I want you to know why, Def Rocker. I'm not taking the vaccine because I am not a person who is vaccinated. The only shot that I've gotten is TB because I used to work in a nursing home. So I had to take the TB shot. I am not a vaccinated person, right? So for me, I'm not going to start today. That's just me. My mother was not a vaccinated person. You know what wiped my mother out? Cancer wiped my mother out. Cancer wiped my mother out. Not the chicken pox. She never had the chicken pox. Not the measles. Not the mumps. Not tetanus. Not TB. Cancer wiped my mother out. And my mother wasn't a vaccinated person. I'm not a vaccinated person. So I want y'all all to go ahead and get vaccinated so y'all can keep me safe. Right. I want y'all to go ahead and get vaccinated, baby, so y'all can keep me safe. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm not telling you what to do, Def Rocker. I'm not telling any of what to do. I'm just saying if you're going to go ahead and get the vaccination, it would behoove you to do your research. You should do your research on what vaccination you're taking. You should do your research on the storage requirements. You should do your research on how long it can stay on the shelf, how many hours it can stay on the shelf. You should do your research on what refrigeration it should be kept at. You should do your research on what is known to be happening in these vaccinations when they're kept out of the refrigerator too long. What is happening with the substances inside of the vaccination? We already know that Pfizer's doesn't hold the integrity. It's breaking down to unknown things, unknown substances. It does not hold the integrity. Do what you want to do, right? Somebody said no chicken pox for me. Me either. I never had chicken pox. And I took baths with my cousins who had chicken pox. I ate after my cousins that had chicken pox, and I never had the chicken pox. Right? I never had it. I'm just telling you guys to do your research. Somebody saying Shanna. Well, it's Shonna with the O, but I appreciate that. So Shanna, can we talk about Deputy Clyde Kerr the third, Deputy Clyde Kerr, the third next show? Okay, we can look at that. No problem. We'll talk about it. We'll see what is that. So the last thing I want to do, because I already told y'all, thank you for all the birthday love. You guys are awesome. The last thing I want to talk about, and then I'm out of here, is Harlem, New York. What's wrong with you guys in Harlem? Like, who's raising these people? So y'all heard about the last incident that happened, right? I hope y'all heard about the last incident. So first of all, I want to give my condolences to the family of Shadina Smith out of Harlem, New York. I want to give my condolences to that family. It's unfortunate. The reason why I'm bringing this story to light is because it's one of my childhood friends who's more like my cousin. She's not my biological cousin, but she's like my cousin. She knows Shadina Smith, and her heart is broken. And when I looked into the story, I felt that the story was worth mentioning because I think that we all can learn something from this story. But here's what I'm going to say to Harlem, New York. Like, y'all doing all types of crazy shit out of Harlem. Got people shooting their mamas in the head. You know, you got guys biting women's eyes out their face. And now this unfortunate incident that happened to Shadina Smith. I mean, we're not safe at any time of the day. I just want y'all to know that. But here's a Harlem mom who was fatally shot and killed as she and her boyfriend allegedly confronted a guy who had groped her outside. And she got groped early in the day. I think this incident happened about 12:30 p.m. in the afternoon. And when this guy touched her, she went back to her apartment to tell her fiance what had happened. And they both came outside to confront the guy. And this happened around 150th Street near Frederick Douglass Boulevard, which is 8th Ave, right, on January 16th. But basically, she told her boyfriend what happened, and her boyfriend went outside to confront this guy who had groped her. And whatever happened, it sparked an argument, and that argument led to gunfire. And her boyfriend was hit in I think the chest and the arm, if I'm not mistaken, and she was shot, I believe, 3 times in the chest. And she passed away. She died from it. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Not only was she a young mother, you know, she was 29 years old. And that's not young like a baby young, but 29 is a young person to lose your life, right? She had a 1-year-old son who is now by himself. Her fiance got shot, but he survived it. He was released from the hospital. But here's what I'm going to say. This is an incident that happened at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, around there, right? 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And she did what so many of us are telling each other to do, right? You should have a man that can protect you. This is what so many of us believe in our community, right? You should have a man that can protect you. And your man is supposed to step up and protect this woman, right? But here it is. That happened. Exactly that happened. She has a man who is able to protect her. Thank you for that donation, Antonio. I appreciate that birthday love. I appreciate that. She has a man that can protect her. She did what she was supposed to do. She didn't argue with this joker. She ain't threatening this joker. She went and got her man. They came out to handle the situation. She lost her life. She lost her life. Why is it okay? Or why do people think? Why do some of these I can't even call them men, these savages, these uncivilized animals, why do they think it's okay to even violate somebody's body by touching them? Like what gave this man the right to grope her? Why would he even put his hands on her? Right? And then at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, what the hell is he angry at? Lunch? His ham and cheese sandwiches? Like, what the freak is he angry at? That he's got to be outside at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with a gun touching women. Right? And so I have these conversations because, listen, somebody say she should have called the cops. She should have called the cops. You know, I'm not going to say I agree, and I'm not going to say I disagree. Thank you so much. Look at my attorney. Shout out to one of my attorneys, guys. If you ever want to get your credit repaired and have stellar, y'all go ahead and get his name. Go ahead and hit him up on Facebook. He's somebody who knows his work inside and out. I've been working with Brian for a long time. And bro, I gotta call you because we gotta sue somebody in Georgia. I want my goddamn money back from my doctor. I'm gonna call you. Just remember, I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting you on blast. I need you to write a letter, right? We need to get this shit handled, because if I handle it my way, it ain't going to be nice and it's going to look bad against me. So I need you to handle it. So I'm going to hit you up. Somebody is saying that she should have called the cops. I'm not going to say that she should have called the cops. I'm not going to say that she should not have called the cops. But here's what I am going to say. When you are dealing with certain communities, thank you for that, Tawana. When we're dealing with certain communities, we're taught, thank you for that donation, Ben Israel. I appreciate that. We're taught not to really call the cops, right? And I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not offering any opinion on it. But we're taught not to call the cops. But I'm saying, is it no longer of the day where we can go and speak to our partner and address situations that are happening to stop them from happening so that the community can know as a woman we're not unprotected, we're not guarded. And maybe I'm stuck in the 60s, in the 70s. Maybe I'm missing something here. And I'm not saying that my way is the right way. I'm just asking a question because y'all gotta let me know what the code is. If the code is don't go tell your boyfriend or your fiance or your husband or your family members, your uncles, your brother, if the code is don't go tell them to call the cops, y'all need to let me know. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny whatsoever, right? Because it's like whatever happened to the days where you don't have to be outside at 12 o'clock with a gun. And you're in New York. You don't even have a right to carry a gun in the street in New York City. So we already know you all the way illegal. So whatever happened to settling shit? Whatever happened to if you got to throw hands, throwing hands? Like why is it now I'm just going to shoot you? I did something wrong. I messed up. I touched your woman. I groped your woman. I'm violating. I'm out of pocket. I'm not even seeing your woman as a woman. I'm not even seeing her as a young lady. Thank you for that birthday, love. I'm not even seeing her as a young lady to be respected, to be honored, to be cherished, to be protected. I'm not even seeing her as that. I'm seeing her as a piece of meat that I'm just going to touch her ass and grope her, and you're not going to do anything about it. Because if you come say to me anything about groping your woman, I'm going to kill you. Like, is that shit the norm now? Is that what we doing now? And I'm not trying to be funny, right? I'm not trying to be funny, but is this what we're doing? Empress said the code should be I go tell my fiance and the whole block show up, right? But what is happening when that's not happening? Here's one of our our YouTube members. What's good, Shonna? Sorry, late, and I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear from you too. And don't worry, you right on time. We ain't never late in this game, right? We ain't never late in this game, baby. You right on time. Somebody said, not defending, yet this is the most puzzling reasoning out there. Some women speak out against sexualization, yet some of these same women actively participate in some of the sexualized challenges. Okay, I get your point, Arthur, right? But we're talking about Sister Shadina Smith, who lost her life to something that was so senseless. He touched her, right? And she was out at 12:30 p.m. minding her goddamn business. And I get what you're saying, but when do we thank you so much for that, Black Mama. I appreciate that. When do we recognize that we got to stop creating these smoke screens and this confusion by saying that sisters are sexualized and we invite this energy in? So you telling me at 12 o'clock when she's going out with her fiance at home and she got a son, she going out inviting this in? I don't think that that's what she was doing. And I know that that's not what you're saying, Arthur. But I think that we have to be mindful of some of the tropes that we bring into the discussion, right? We got to be mindful about some of these comments because it makes it seem like she brought that onto herself. Jackie is saying she should not have told her boyfriend. If she was angry, she should have called the police. Now she has lost her life. That is what the police is for. Okay, well, Jackie has a right to feel that way. Thank you so much for the donation, Tea Time. Sugar Mom sent a birthday love. I appreciate that. Oh, from Cali. Mwah, I love you for that. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait till COVID is over. We can go back on tour. But what do you guys think about that? Are you saying that she should not have called the cops? I mean, she should have not have told her boyfriend? But then at the same time, when we call the cops, if something happens, then we say, well, why our community calling the cops? You know, the cops don't care nothing about us. Then we turn around, we say that. Thank you so much for that means factor. I'll look for that on Cash App. I appreciate that. What do we say about that? Right? From Facebook, somebody is saying, it's a shame we are doing the work for them. You know, the racist ones, the ones that's been trying to get rid of us since the 17th century. We need to wake up. If she called the police, the watchman, she may still be alive. Tell me and call the police. Bottom line. Okay. You're absolutely right. Right. And we don't know. She could have came back into the house and said, I'm calling the cops. And her boyfriend could have been fired up like, what, he touched my woman, now I'm gonna go outside, because listen, brothers, at the same time, some of you brothers are like that. You hear about somebody disrespecting your woman and you want to go to protect her. I'm not saying not to call the cops, but I'm saying we're making a lot of assumption. How do we know that she didn't go back in the house to say, I'm calling the cops, this motherfucker touched me? How you know she didn't go back in the house to say that? And because her boyfriend heard that, now he's reactive because his role is to jump in to protect her. We don't know that. Well, how can you say that? Here's somebody else is saying this. I don't know. Wait, not that person. Not you, Vina. Jay Bryce is saying, obviously, she don't have the right person protecting her. How do you know that, Jay Bryce? How do you know that? How can you say that she didn't have the right person protecting her? Byron is saying, Dr. Shonna, he should have went there strapped and ready. What is this New York? Some people follow New York laws where you're not supposed to be strapped. So how he know the person was going to be out there strapped? I'm just asking y'all questions. Right? Thank you for that donation, Celeste. I appreciate that, my love. Right? We don't know that. Somebody said we know because she died. Well, I think that's insensitive, MTF gang. Right? I think that's very insensitive what you're saying. You're entitled to your opinion, right? But I don't think we know all the facts. I think we're just saying that. But let me ask you something, MTF gang. So if your girl came into the house, and I want you to answer this, and I'm gonna post your answer so everyone can see it. If your girl came into the house and she said, I gotta call the cops and wait for the cop coming. He says, and you say to them, why? Why you call the cops? And she says to you, excuse my French. I don't know why people say French because this shit ain't French. But she said to you, this motherfucker just grabbed my ass. I'm not fucking playing with it. You're gonna say, yeah, baby, let's call the cops. I'm asking you, and I'm not trying to be funny. Are you gonna sit back at 12 o'clock in the afternoon? At 12, remember all the facts here. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon, are you gonna say, yeah, let's wait for the cops? So he's saying, nope. I would say, okay, call the cops. All right. Let me ask all the other guys in the room. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to know what the guys think. What about the other guys in the room? So somebody else is saying, I'm coming with the gun. Fuck the cops, right? What else is saying? Somebody says he attempted to protect and defend his woman. The offender should not have ever touched his woman or killed her. I agree with you. Somebody said, I would have made her go back inside after pointing him out. Right? Now MTF gang is saying, I would say, yeah, call the cops, sis. I know the legal system, sis. Okay. All right. Right? So everyone is different. Right? Everyone is different. I'm just wondering how many. I just need to take a poll for all the guys, not the women, for the guys. Would you have told her just to call the cops and you would have sat and waited for the cops? I'm just asking. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. Right? I'm just asking you guys, what would you have done? Somebody said, motherfuck the police, but that's a female. Earl is saying no. Junior is saying no. Deron is saying no. Freedom is saying no. The race soldier's laughing. Junior is saying no. Somebody says, last I heard, the cops were killing us too, right? Somebody else saying this situation could have gone wrong, whatever way you approached it, right? Right? Somebody else says, hell no. Right? So here's the thing. Right? Here's the thing. MTF gang is saying the thug behavior is late. We need to do better. So you're telling me just to go outside to see a situation, to see what happened, is thug behavior? I don't see. I think we got to be careful with how we talk about our brothers and sisters. That's the stuff that gets me, right? That's the stuff that gets me. We have to be careful with how we talk about our brothers and sisters, because you're automatically assuming that it's thug behavior. You're automatically assuming that somebody goes outside to see what happens is thug behavior. Right? You could be on a train, MTF gang, and somebody can grope your woman and you don't have an opportunity to fucking call the cops. So you mean to tell me, just based how you're moving, MTF, and no disrespect to you, but based on how you're moving, you could be on a train with your woman and somebody can grab your woman and there's no motherfucking cop around. You're just going to tell her, baby, it's okay. It's okay. We just, when we get off the train, we're going to call the cops. Don't worry about it. She like, this motherfucker just touched my ass. And you like, babe. It's like Kevin Hart. Do you remember that stand-up comedian Kevin Hart did with what's that show that used to be in New York and moved to LA with Russell Simmons? What was the name of that show back in the day? And Kevin Hart has said in his stand-up, he said, look, I don't fight. He said, I'm not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody just, smack my girlfriend, it's just gonna be that. Because if he smacked her, what do you think? What do you think he's gonna do to me? If he smacked her, I ain't trying to fight. I'm just not a fighter. He said, so if you're looking for a man that's a fighter, that ain't me. Def Comedy Jam, right? Thank you for that. Def Comedy Jam. That's what you remind me of. Right? Yes, I have Art of War. I have the book Art of War right here. So that's the problem. Some of y'all so stuck in books. I'm just saying, I'm just asking you a question. Now you want to bring up books. I'm asking you a simple question. The question was real fucking simple. If you are on a train and somebody grabbed your woman's fucking ass in your fucking face, you're going to tell her, don't worry about it. That's what you're basically telling me. That's what you're telling me. And I'm saying, that's what you're telling me is all good. Just say I'm like Kevin Hart. I'm not a fighter. I ain't trying to get in a fight. If somebody slap my bitch, grab her ass, is all good. That's on them. We're just gonna get off the train the next stop. I'm gonna console her and we're gonna go home. Just tell me that. Just tell me that. Just tell me that. That's all I'm saying. Right? Just tell me that. Just so now you want to say, please calm down. We are all calm. We're questioning you. Nobody's act up. I mean, you don't know me. Because if I was not calm, I wouldn't be talking. So you obviously don't know me. When I'm not calm, there's no words coming out my mouth. Right? There's no words coming out my mouth, right? What is trans feminine? Y'all got all these kind of fucking words and shit for me. I don't know what the fuck that is. What is a trans feminine? Can you please? Y'all doing too goddamn much. Y'all heard me say it today. I'm gonna say it again. Y'all doing too goddamn much with all these titles. What the hell is a trans feminine? But whatever it is, it makes sense why you wouldn't do nothing. I'm just trying to say. Right? I'm just trying to say. Somebody said, okay, we see now. Clearly we see now, right? Okay, we see now. We understand. Somebody said, I can't. It makes sense now because I don't know. I mean, if I don't know what trans feminine is, so I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not trying to be funny, but you're just gonna have to say you probably in your bag right now because once you have to put that out there, you're probably all emotional and shit. I don't know. You're probably in your bag right now having a fit. Get your panties all the way together. But what I'm saying is, whatever the fuck that means, trans feminine, right? Somebody said in Florida, you can be killed here for fucking around. We all strapped, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? So I'm trying to tell you. Somebody said I probably would have been dead from swinging on that nigga for real, for real. I'm just trying to say, right? Right now, look and see. MTF is in his panties, or in her panties, or in its panties, whatever. In the panties, right? In they panties. They. That's the right pronoun. In they panties. This is what I'm talking about. You see the fuck I'm talking about, y'all? This is what I'm talking about. This is what fuck I'm talking about. I can't make this shit up. I can never make this shit up. This is why y'all gotta be careful about some people that's saying some shit. Yeah, this is why y'all gotta be careful. This is why that community, I'm like, y'all just doing too fucking much for me today. Y'all just doing too much for me. Just be an AG, because the AG would have smacked the shit out of him. This has nothing to do about being same sex. This has nothing to do about y'all doing too fucking much. Your ass is doing too much. Because if you was an AG, let me tell you something. If you was like young MA, you would have got your ass smacked on the train. See, this is why young NA taking y'all women. This is why young NA coming for people like y'all women, because y'all too fucking weak. Too fucking weak. Young A, shit. If I was same sex, I'll be with young MA. You hear what I'm trying to say? I need to be protected. Let me stop for some of y'all start crying. Somebody said I would have knocked his ass out because I'm a fighter till death because whoever, right? Right? Somebody talking about, well, I'm not on that thug shit. That's the ignorant statements right there. Everybody's a thug now. Oh my God, right? Shit. Anyway, y'all. Somebody said, Dr. Shonna, you an OG for real. You know I am. Shit. Y'all play too much. Y'all play too much for me. We all having fun. MTG gang, whatever your name is, don't get in your feelings. Don't get in your bag. If you know me, you know I'm joking with you, right? See now, NG, MTG, MTF gang is mad. Don't go. Don't leave. We're just joking. You got to be able to laugh. We got to laugh a little. It was funny. But don't be mad if young MA come and snatch up your boo with all your trans feminine. Young MA ain't playing no games, baby. Yes, go ahead, young MA. Thank you for that donation, Kendra. Kendra says, I've been watching for 4 years. I love your work and dress out seriously issues. Thanks, Dr. Etienne. I appreciate the work you're doing. It means a lot for me. Oh, thank you for my birthday gift. Now, I'm not trying to be funny. I know some of y'all be in your bag. Yeah, some men are shea butter too. Some men are way shea butter. This is what I'm telling y'all. Somebody said, I love young MA. I love young M. Listen, shit, that is my chick. I love me some young MA, baby. Anyway, listen, I only want to put that out there. I wanted to just show some love to the sister that lost her life. I want you guys to start really thinking about this, right? Because we're no longer in an era where your man can say, don't touch my woman, just keep your fucking hands to yourself. Don't touch my kids. Don't touch my family. A man can't say that no more. If you come outside to say don't touch anything, you better have on a bulletproof vest, right? You better have on a bulletproof vest, and you better know what you're doing, because you don't know who you're running up into. 12 o'clock in the morning, people are angry, right? 12 o'clock in the afternoon, people are angry. 10 o'clock in the morning, people are angry. 5 o'clock in the evening, people are angry. 11 o'clock at night, people are angry. People are just goddamn angry in our communities. So we have to really just pay attention to what's going on, right? Somebody said in my Kevin Hart voice, I'm going to tell Jesus on your ass. Y'all funny. But anyway, y'all got to understand that it's serious out here. So brothers, I know that we're getting a lot of misinformation. People are telling the brothers to step up and protect your woman. Some brothers are afraid of stepping up to protect their woman because they might lose their life. Some brothers don't care. If they lose their life, they're going to step up and protect their woman. We're getting so much mixed messages. And, one person says, call the cops. Next person said, fuck the cops. We don't know what to do in our community anymore. This is just more proof that we are not safe in our community from each other, and we're not safe in our communities from others. We're not safe. We're not safe in their communities. We're not safe in our communities. It's like every man for itself. Right? So I want you guys to really just pay attention to that. If y'all can look up this sister's information, I know they have a GoFundMe. I'm not telling y'all what to do, what not to do. I don't know the person's personal information. I can find out because I know somebody who knows her personally. And somebody that I grew up with, as I consider my cousin, even though we're not blood related, knows her personally. So I don't know what that information is. I think you guys should do your research. I can ask my girl to see what is really happening with the funeral. Is expensive, just in case you guys want to donate any money to her. But at the end of the day, I don't know what to tell y'all anymore. I just think that our fucking community played too much. And it makes me, these are the kind of things that makes me feel discouraged of helping our community, because, we don't have enough mental health services on board for half the people in this community. Everybody fucking crazy. Everybody crazy. So listen, that's all I got. Somebody says conceal and carry. In New York, you can't conceal and carry, right? That's all I have. Somebody says, my daughter was approached by a white man with a machete. 5 dudes jumped out of their cars and defended her. She purchased a gun the next day. What town y'all live in? What city and state? Okay, I won't forget about Deputy Clyde Kerr III. Okay, he recently committed suicide. Oh, everybody crazy. All right, I'll definitely look that up. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you guys all on Friday. And thank you so much for the birthday love, the birthday donations, the birthday wishes. Thank you for helping me to get better. I think the reason why I fought COVID and beat it is because God said, now I'm gonna take your ass out one day, but I ain't taking you out today. So get your ass up, continue to talk to the community, and address issues that no one else is addressing. So that's what I'm talking about. I love all of you guys. Y'all stay safe. Have a great night. And to MTF gang, I love you too. Please don't disappear. And I don't know what trans feminine is. I wasn't being funny, but I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna learn right now. But please don't disappear. And if you can, get yourself somebody like Young MA, so Young MA can protect you, baby. I gotta go. All of y'all have a good night. Be blessed.